Hello there, everyone. You know who I am, E.T. Templar, alien crusader from beyond the heavens, here to entertain, destroy through the power of me, magic. And in this review, I'm talking about a very underrated and probably one of my favorite Bruce Willis movies. I know for a lot of people it's Die Hard, but for this one is mine. Mercury Rising. So the plot is Art Jeffries. The movie starts off with him in a botched FBI raid because that's a real thing. It happens. Look up Ruby Ridge in Waco.
Strange.
A world ready for the righteous and the pure to inherit.
Don't believe in surrenders. No, I still got my saber, Reverend. Didn't turn it into no plowshare, neither.
I'm taking over this territory. From now on.
The FBI is not this holy, instrument of democracy as we think. They mess up, and they are infiltrated by partisan hacks and political operatives. But that's a rant for later. So Art Jeffries is kind of like this rogue undercover agent. And the NSA at this time, Mercury is like a NSA program that encodes and encrypts data. So these two guys, one of them gets the bright idea to put the code in a puzzle book that gets published. Well, of course, the main kid, Simon Lynch, who happens to be autistic, figures out the code, and the code is a number to this NSA site. So, of course, the code gets leaked, and the main baddie, Colonel Nicholas Kudrow, is basically like every other evil deep state politician. Once he figures out that these two guys are responsible for it being leaked, the kid's parents are brutally murdered by NSA agents or agents of Colonel Kudrow. And so most of the movie follows Bruce Willis and the kid and them trying to escape these assassins from these assholes of the National Security Administration. And this movie was way beyond its time for it coming out in 1998. This movie is still pretty damn relevant, even the time it came out in, because as we all know that the NSA does illegally spy on everyone. And they are responsible for spying into people's Facebooks. And now you have Biden allowing the government to read people's text messages, right? So this movie is very ahead of its time and on point as far as the plot and story in realistic sense. So yeah, the kid cracks the code. Of course, the Bruce Willis and Simon develop a kind of friendship throughout the movie, and it's just a good movie. And for whatever reason, it said on the Wikipedia page about this movie that this movie got a lot of negative reviews. I can't see how that is, because this movie's fantastic. The musical score is fantastic. Bruce Willis brings his A game in this movie, and this movie's great. And even Alec Baldwin, he plays this role of Colonel Kudrow perfectly because he's an asshole in real life. And him and John Travolta are probably the best, actors if you want them to play an evil asshole, because they both kind of are evil assholes in real life, let's be honest. So this movie is just absolutely fantastic. It's directed by Harold Becker, screenplay by Lawrence Connor and Mark Rosenthal, starring Bruce Willis, Alec Baldwin, Miko Hughes, Chi McBride, Kim Dickens, this movie's just a freaking great Bruce Willis flick, and it was on Hulu. And the weird thing about this, I was thinking about this movie the other day, and lo and behold, for whatever reason, it was available on Hulu. And I was like, fucking hell yeah, I get to rewatch this movie again. So this movie is definitely worth the watch. And it's an action thriller. There's tons of gun action in it, so it's not just, a point A to point B movie. There's tons of stuff that happens. And, the first time I saw this movie, I was like, oh, come on, that our government would never do this. It would never try and kill a 9-year-old boy or kill the boy's parents and then try and kill Bruce Willis. But in all reality, I wouldn't put it past our government to actually do fucked up shit like this, because they do, right? If you look into the Clintons, how many people are mysteriously died or committed suicide that are friends of Clinton's? It's like over 210. So this movie kind of tapped into the very real world of political elitism and political corruption that goes on right now as I'm doing this review. So it's a very realistic movie in the sense that it's grounded and it kind of is perfect. Even, like, again, from it being out in 1998, this movie is just on point with that message. And, yeah, I can't say enough. It's a freaking fantastic, underrated movie. And I love the hell of it. And if you need something fun to watch and something that has Bruce Willis in it, then this movie's definitely up your alley. And I would almost put it up there with the Die Hard series as far as, like, good Bruce Willis movies. There's also another one, Lucky Number 11, where he kind of plays a side role that's pretty good too with Josh Hartnett. That one's pretty decent too. So that would be my second suggestion for this video. Mercury Rising is a good-ass movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. And the second one would be Lucky Number 11. That one's pretty hardcore and for a good watch too. So yeah, check out Mercury Rising. It's a good-ass movie. Drop a like, drop a dislike, subscribe if you haven't already. Chime in on the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.